Eric Maines. A biographical overview. Eric Maines, a name that has become familiar to many through his appearances on the popular reality television show Moonshiners, is known for his role in the clandestine world of moonshining and the colorful life he has led alongside his family. Though his participation in the show brought him into the limelight, his life story is filled with a variety of twists and turns, including struggles with illness, ties to funeral homes, and his complicated personal relationships. This biography takes a deep dive into the life of Eric Maines, his rise to fame, his health challenges, his business ventures, and his family dynamics. Early life and introduction to moonshining. Eric Maines was born and raised in the rural Appalachian region of the United States, where moonshining has a long and storied history. Growing up in this environment, Eric was exposed to the illegal craft of moonshine production at a young age. His upbringing in such a culture instilled in him both a respect for tradition and a willingness to push the boundaries of legality in pursuit of a livelihood. In the Appalachian region, moonshining was often a way of life, a method for families to sustain themselves, especially in remote areas where traditional jobs were scarce. As a young man, Eric was drawn to this underground world, learning the ins and outs of moonshine production from mentors in his community. His knowledge of the craft was thorough, from the intricacies of distillation to the more hidden aspects of running a moonshine operation. This expertise, along with his natural charisma, would later make him a compelling figure on Moonshiners. Rise to fame on Moonshiners first aired in 2011, offering an inside look at the illicit distillation of alcohol in the Appalachian Mountains. The show quickly became a hit, partly due to its portrayal of real-life moonshiners who operated outside the law, crafting potent spirits while evading authorities. Eric Maines entered the public consciousness as one of the featured moonshiners on the show. His involvement in the series added to its appeal, as audiences were captivated not only by his skills as a moonshiner, but also by his distinct personality. Despite the illegal nature of moonshining, the show presented a somewhat romanticized view of the craft, focusing on the complex process and the personalities behind the operations. For Eric, this was an opportunity to showcase his expertise and his commitment to preserving a centuries-old Appalachian tradition. Over the years, Eric became a fan favorite, building a reputation for his straightforward approach to moonshining and his ability to craft quality liquor in often high-risk situations. As the show gained in popularity, Eric's role became more prominent, and he built a significant fan base. However, with fame came complications. Like many reality stars, Eric faced the challenges of balancing his public image with his personal life, and the scrutiny that came with being on a nationally televised show added stress to an already high-stakes lifestyle. Health struggles and illness. Eric's life was not without its challenges. Behind the scenes, he has had to contend with several health issues that have impacted both his personal life and his career. Although the details of his medical history are often kept private, it is known that Eric faced serious health concerns that affected him during his time on Moonshiners. Reports indicate that Eric struggled with an illness that required significant medical attention. While the exact nature of his condition remains unclear to the public, some speculate that it may have been a chronic condition that led to his absence from the show during certain seasons. For someone who made his living in an industry fraught with danger, working with high-proof alcohol and operating equipment that could be hazardous to health, Eric's illness added another layer of difficulty to an already stressful life. Nevertheless, Eric's resilience shone through during these times. Despite the personal battles, he continued to make appearances on the show and remain involved in the moonshine community. Fans of Moonshiners admired his determination and strength, which only added to his appeal as a television personality. His health issues served to humanize him and show viewers that, despite his tough exterior, he was a man who had his own struggles to overcome. The funeral home connection. In addition to his career as a moonshiner, Eric Maines also had ties to the funeral home industry. This connection might seem unusual given his role on a show about illegal alcohol production, but it is, in fact, a significant part of his life story. Eric's involvement with funeral homes came about through his family, and he played an important role in maintaining and operating this business. It is not uncommon for people in rural communities to seek out stable and respectable work in industries such as funeral services, and Eric was no exception. While moonshining was his primary source of income and fame, the funeral home business provided him with a more legitimate livelihood. Operating a funeral home required a great deal of care, attention to detail, and sensitivity, traits that Eric carried into his work with families during their most difficult times. His dual role as both a moonshiner and a funeral home worker led to an interesting juxtaposition in his life. While the moonshine business required secrecy, risk, and living on the edge, the funeral home business was rooted in providing respectful services during times of loss. This contrast in vocations may have offered Eric a way to balance the more dangerous aspects of his life with a sense of purpose in helping others through grief and loss. Family life and wife's involvement. While Eric's public life has largely revolved around his moonshine operation, his private life, especially his relationship with his wife, has been a subject of interest among fans. Eric's wife has often been mentioned in interviews and on social media, though she has remained largely out of the spotlight compared to her husband. She has played an important role in Eric's life, providing support during difficult times, including his health struggles. Wife, whose identity is not always publicly disclosed, has been a pillar in his life. In interviews, Eric has spoken about how his wife has kept their family grounded and supported him throughout his career, particularly during the more challenging times. She has also helped to manage the various business interests that Eric has been involved in, including the funeral home, demonstrating a partnership that goes beyond the public eye. Their relationship has not been without its complications, as is often the case when one partner is involved in an industry as unpredictable as moonshining. However, the couple's strong bond has allowed them to weather the storms of fame, illness, and personal challenges together. Eric's wife has been portrayed as a steady force in his life, ensuring that he maintains a sense of stability amidst the chaos that often surrounds the moonshine business. The digger connection. In addition to his other ventures, Eric Maines has also been linked to the concept of a digger, a term that often refers to someone who searches for or extracts valuable resources, whether it be moonshine, gold, or other commodities. In the context of moonshiners, the digger may also refer to someone who digs up information or plays a role in finding new resources for the operation. Eric's role as a digger on the show added another layer of complexity to his persona. He was known for his ability to find rare ingredients, resources, or even new techniques to enhance his moonshine production. This expertise made him an invaluable asset to his crew and reinforced his reputation as one of the most skilled and resourceful moonshiners in the Appalachian region. However, the term digger has also been associated with some of the less savory aspects of the moonshine world. It can represent someone who is always on the lookout for ways to push the boundaries of the law or uncover hidden opportunities. For Eric, this role could have had both positive and negative connotations, as he straddled the line between tradition and innovation while navigating the murky waters of the illegal alcohol trade. Eric Maines. To dyers of today, Eric Maines has largely stepped out of the spotlight of moonshiners. He continues to lead a private life, away from the cameras, and has made efforts to focus on his family, his health, and his business endeavors. Though his appearances on the show, were once a key part of his identity. Eric seems to have embraced a quieter existence, focusing on personal projects and staying close to home. The legacy of Eric Maines in the world of moonshining remains intact, and his contributions to the craft will not soon be forgotten. His resilience in the face of illness, his ability to balance his moonshine operation with his more legitimate business ventures, and his complicated but loving family life make him a figure worth remembering. Whether through his time on Moonshiners or his quieter endeavors behind the scenes, Eric's life story offers a window into the world of moonshining, personal challenges, and the complexities of living a public life.